What up? What up, fam? Bam, bam. Wildest shit ever, man.
Tell you, because we may very well be under attack on all sides. Just because you don't believe in conspiracy theories don't mean they ain't after you. But in reality, sometimes stuff happens with the signal from the studio to the tower, which sends our programming to your car, home, office, or your transistor radio. But when you download the KBLA 1580 app, the sound is clear as a bell. All day, all night, anywhere in the world. From Los Angeles to Lagos.
What up, y'all?
So, we love all of our listeners, no matter how you hear us. But when you download the KBLA 1580 app and hear that richness, you'll wonder why you didn't do it sooner. But don't take my word for it. Download the KBLA 1580 app right now. I'm Tavis Smiley, and I approve this message.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, and I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light.
Everybody hit that like button. Here we go. Like it up, like it up, like it, share. Subscribe. Hit that like. Yes, I'm gonna keep up the good work, brother. Knowledge yourself.
Inevitably, as you become aware of the whole pattern of narcissism, you realize that in their need for control, in their need for dominance, and in their manipulative, exploitive behavior, these people need what we call a narcissistic supply. They need somebody to say, yes, in fact, you are the best, and you are wonderful, and you do know everything. And so they have to have people who will kind of bow to them and say, I acknowledge that you're the best, and you're wonderful. And in narcissistic parlance, we call that the flying monkeys. These are folks that just kind of hand over their wills to the narcissist and let them be in charge. Now, very commonly, a narcissist, as they spot you, may determine, hey, you're not becoming one of my flying monkeys. You're not willing to just bow to me, and I don't like that whatsoever. And so they see you as being other. There's something about you that doesn't fit into their system or their scheme, and so they go about scapegoating you. Basically, scapegoating is a blame game, and they see you as being a defiant person. They see you as other or differentness, and see in your differentness, that means that you're putting your fist up in their face and challenging them, and you're just thinking, I'm just being me. But that's not how they interpret, so they have to put you in your position, and as a result, you're on the receiving end of a whole lot of negatives. Is that something you can relate to? Now, sometimes people can find that they're the scapegoat inside a family system. Everybody else seems to go along with that one huge narcissistic leader. Sometimes it's in a work setting. Sometimes it's in a social group. Sometimes you wind up being in a marriage or a living situation with someone, and you've fallen out of favor, and so they want to make sure that they put you in your position. Scapegoating can happen in a wide array of circumstances, and basically it's the narcissist way of saying you're supposed to be compliant, you're supposed to be acquiescent, you're supposed to be functional to me, you're supposed to be obedient, and since you're not being that way, then there's going to be a price that you have to pay. And so they can operate in a very harsh and condescending kind of way. And basically, they don't like your uniqueness. They don't like your freedom to be and choose who you want to be. That's something that threatens them. And so I'd like to point out some of the most common behaviors that these scapegoating narcissists can use on you. And I want you to have a high enough awareness of this so that when you see it coming at you, you're going to realize this is not about you. This is a part of their pattern of life that they have not come to terms with. They tend to be very low, self-aware people, and they're trying to make all of these complaints about you, when in fact it reveals a lot of emptiness and a lot of misappropriated thoughts on the inside of them. For example, one of the first things that a scapegoater tends to do is they tell lies about you. They have no compunctions about speaking to other people.
Man, oh man, a Shevitz. Dr. C, don't be playing no games. The voice of reason has returned. We have an amazing topic tonight, and I'm sure many of you have experienced it. Are you the Azazel in your relationship, in your family dynamic, at your work situation? Are you Azazel? You guys remember that movie, Azazel, starring, of course, legendary Denzel Washington? You know, Azazel. Prisoner escaped into some spirit, and the spirit would jump into other people. Azazel. Many of us are probably familiar with it with regards to the Bible, right? And Abraham is asked to kill his son. Yeah, that was the name of the movie, Fallen. Fallen, starring Denzel Washington. The spirit in that movie was called Azazel, right? It was a great movie, by the way, right? But you remember Abraham getting ready to sacrifice his son to the Lord, and then the angel stepped in and said, no, no, no. Take that goat that's caught in that thicket behind you and sacrifice that instead. Azazel, it means the goat that departed. Now, if we look at the word goat and as an acronym, let's go LL Cool J. LL Cool J purports that he created the term GOAT for hip-hop. GOAT, greatest of all time. Typically, the child that is raised in that family dynamic goes on to be the GOAT because they're the empath. They're the truth teller, right? Teller. They're the one. They're the GOAT that departed, right? They left the toxic situation, right? Very interesting way to look at it. Azazel, recovering from scapegoat. Oh, this is hard. Recovering from scapegoat from covert narcissistic abuse and blame? Can you recover from being the scapegoat, the blame, the reason everything was messed up? What are some strategies that narcissists employ to punish and scapegoat truth tellers, right? How can truth tellers utilize Ross Rosenberg's observe but don't absorb technique when dealing with covert narcissists? Let me stop right there. You know, Ross Rosenberg coined that, but we hear a lot of people saying that. Observe but don't absorb. I think it's important that we cite where things come from. Like I told you, we live in a social media, kind of universe here, and we hear things that we think, oh, that makes sense. It resonates with me. I'll just say it. But I think it's a form of respect to kind of quote where you heard it from, who you heard say it, as opposed to presenting it as if it were your own. But I digress, right? What purpose does blame shifting serve for narcissists? And how can recognizing, right, its benefit? There is no benefit in blame shifting. I just want you to understand that. Okay? There's no benefit. And oftentimes many relationships suffer because most parties, I would say the couples, they're waiting their turn to talk. They're sitting on a communication conveyor belt, waiting for their chance to talk. They're not really listening. They're not actively listening. And if they are listening, they're listening to respond. They're not listening to understand. I mean, it's a weird situation in most relationships. How do we fix it? We gotta fix it. What purpose does blame shifting serve for narcissists, and how can recognizing it benefit those being affected by it? How is blame shifting used as, how can it be used as an effective tool for their inability to self-regulate? That's what it is. It is an effective tool because they can't self-regulate, meaning their emotions get out of whack. It's your fault. This is ugly. It's ugly. How might the push and pull dynamic of an insecure attachment style relationship, i.e., anxious preoccupied versus fearful avoidant or dismissive avoidant, appeal to recovering scapegoats? That is a deep question. Are scapegoats abused for not being codependent? How might feigning ignorance with the narcissists and flying monkeys work to the advantage of a recovering scapegoat? Feigning ignorance, acting like you don't know what's going on when you really do. 1-800-920-1580. Have you been the scapegoat in your relationship? Were you the scapegoat at your job? Are you the scapegoat in your family? Have you transcended to the space of the goat that departed, right? The goat that left. Is that you? Why does the narcissist, right? Why does the narcissist's inability to control, gaslight, and or manipulate the scapegoat infuriate them so much? Does this poor reflection of the narcissist's capabilities engage their core shame wound? You do know narcissists suffer from shame and guilt. Were you the truth teller in your family? Are you the designated, you remember we used to call it the black sheep. Oh, that's the black sheep of the family. Is the black sheep and the scapegoat synonymous? Do you find it difficult to develop healthy, mutually respectful relationships with one or more siblings? Do you struggle with addiction or codependency or both even? Do you have a dominant sibling who now treats you in the same manner your dysfunctional / abusive parent did, perhaps taking over the smear campaign that keeps the propaganda machine portraying you, as defective? 1-800-920-1580. This is about to get really deep. I want to know what your thoughts are for this conversation. I really want to know how you feel. Have you ever been scapegoated in? Not have you ever been swallowed? No, have you ever been scapegoated? I want to know. Call me tonight, 1-800-920-1580, the voice of reason. We are on complete fire. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's go. We got a nice amount of people in here. I need you guys to be active today. I shouldn't have to work so hard to get you to call. I shouldn't have to ask so much. We already know it's a conversation, especially my core crew. We already know it's a conversation. Let's talk together. I'd like to learn. War Tyrant, what up? And if you, thank you, John. John Gilbreth has given some instructions. 4 ways to contribute to the show. Cash App, that'll hit me directly. $ Zoe What Netter. Super Chat, $ symbol at the bottom of the chat. Call in 1-800-920-1580 or buy a book. Go to my website, mrzowhat.com. Thank you, brother. Murfreesboro checking in. Uncle Jimmy Ray. Now let's get the phone lines cracking, please. Please don't make me ask 46 times a show. LS Jefferson, long time, blessings. Welcome back. Wow. Y'all help Uncle Jimmy Ray with the topic.
Let's answer a big question I've gotten from a lot of you who are watching. I've gotten this from a lot of other people too. Why can't you call a narcissist out on their BS? You can't. That's the short answer. So why? Why can't you call them out? I cannot tell you how many emails I get a day from people who say, will you please meet my husband, wife, brother, sister, mother, father, and tell them they're a narcissist? The answer to that, by the way, is no. Can I show them, Dr. Romney, can I show them all your videos? Won't they then get it? No. So, no, you cannot call them out. Now, you can. I'm not going to stop you. But let's talk about what happens if you do. Because my hope, my goal in having this YouTube channel, in creating content, in writing books, in working with clients, and speaking about this, I got one goal, and one goal only. And that is to protect people from the narcissists in their lives. We aren't going to get rid of them. Okay, we are not going to get rid of them. It's like putting on bug spray. We are not going to get rid of mosquitoes. I'm trying to figure out a way to keep them from biting you. Okay? So this is the equivalent of bug repellent. Why I don't want you to call them out. Again, you're welcome to. And some people say, Doc, I gotta call them out once. I don't care what happens. I am just gonna look at them and say, you son of a bitch, you are a narcissist. Here's what's gonna happen. They're gonna look at you. They're gonna turn it around. They're gonna say, really? Really? Because I would actually say you're the narcissist. And then they'll go on a 20-minute tirade about how you're the narcissist, and they'll gaslight you, and they'll manipulate you, and they'll throw in some insults, and by the time they're done with you and do that number on you, you are going to think you're the narcissist. Is that really worth it? You can't call them out because, newsflash, they're not listening to you. They never have listened to you. So why all of a sudden, when you want to share the big reveal that, hey, you're a narcissist, why do you think that on that day they're going to say, now I take you seriously, so I'm going to listen? They're not going to. Least of all.
Imagine having a narcissistic parent, covert narcissist parent, or covert narcissist husband or wife, and you try to, hold them accountable. We're accountability partners, right? You're only going to exacerbate the situation, according to Dr. Romney and many others. How does the narcissist projection of their inner chaos onto the scapegoat reveal deeper truths about their own self-loathing? It's happened to me before. I've tried to call out narcissistic tendencies and behaviors in people, and they flipped it back on me. And you know why they can flip it back on me and you? Is because we're human. So if there's any misstep or mistake we might have made, trust me, they're mistake collectors. And they will use it. They will wash your face in it. They will judge you. They will demean you. They will devalue you. And they will aggrandize themselves while doing so. Oh, yeah. Well, listen, it could be you and them in a situation where only you and them know exactly what happened. They will come back and tell you it didn't happen that way. You remember that legendary comedy piece from the great Eddie Murphy, right? Raw, when he goes, wasn't me. They will, it wasn't me you to death. To your face. Wasn't me. Wait a minute, it was just us. You said this, then I said this, then you responded this way, and then it wasn't me. With the straightest of faces, right? How can exploring the concept of the wounded inner child help scapegoats understand the roots of their own pain and patterns, right? How might the concept of self-compassion, as discussed by Kristen Neff, help scapegoats rebuild a positive self-identity after years of blame? It's your fault. You did this. If you would just bend the knee to my demands, we would be good moving forward. Have you ever experienced it? 1-800-920-1580. Are you the scapegoat in your relationship right now? Are you the reason for every problem you guys go through? Maybe you've been that person at work. Maybe you've been that person in your family life. I need to know it. 1-800-920-1580. How can the spiritual teachings of many great philosophers and gurus and sages and bodhisattvas on detachment and surrender, such as the great Muji and Eckhart Tolle, aid in the scapegoat's recovery process? Because you have to recover from this. You can't carry it into more and more relationships. You have to recover from being the blame. Has anybody in your life made you the physical manifestation of what's wrong with your experience? Oh, you were involved? No wonder it didn't work out. It's you. You were there. I should have known something was going to happen. Have you been the blame for everything? How can the recovering scapegoat use their past experience as a foundation for developing deeper empathy, resilience, and self-awareness in future relationships? When I come forward, the voice of reason is going to keep drilling down on this powerful topic. Let's go. The perfect song. Boo. No, the song is literally perfect. Okay, now I can see. What up, yo? Everybody hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. If you love the show, if you love the content, if you love your brother Zoe, if you love the channel, please support in the best way you know how. There is a $sign down at the bottom of the chat. That $sign is the super chat. If you want to give to the channel, you could give directly there. But be warned, YouTube takes 30% of whatever donations you give to us. But we're thankful, we're grateful for the 70% that we get. Another way to give is to go directly to my Cash App, which is $ZoWhatNetter. Moderators assemble, please post the Cash App, and I would enjoy and appreciate and be grateful if whatever you got, twos and fews, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. The fives used to be my best, my favorite. Fives and nines, love them. But yo, support. Show your love. You can hit the like button. You can go to my website, MrZowhat.com. That's MrZowhat, MrZowhat.com. Go there right now. And purchase a copy of my book, the latest book, Shrouded Lighthouse. We got 4 minutes during this break. Oh, we got a caller on. Okay. That's what I... Thank you, Naz. Nazarene back in the building, man. I love it. Why y'all been holding out on calls all week? What's going on? Showing support this evening. What up, Aaron? I see your son is balling. I seen the post. Your kid is hooping. Yes, you've been calling. A new book. I need to just reiterate this. Mimi, a new book is not like, it's not like making a cake, okay? A new book is a process. It is a long and arduous process. I just want you to consider my last book came out in 2021. The book before that was 2019. And between the books between 19 and 21, had I not had the majority of the book written, right, in 19, the other book wouldn't have come out as soon as 21. That is the shortest amount of time I've ever turned a book out. 2 years, 3 years, right? Typically, let's see, it's 4 years in between the relationship dismount and the holographic relationship book. That's 4 years. So I'm not saying we're going to wait 4 years for this one. This book is pretty advanced in its concepts, pretty advanced in its table of contents. It's pretty advanced, but you have to understand it is an arduous process. Sometimes I can get a finished, edit, and I'll go back and write more. And every time I write more, it has to be re-edited, right? Or if I go back with the finished edit and I re-edit it, then that edit has to be re-edited again. So just understand it is a pendulum swing of a dance. It's just, do you understand? It's a process. So I'm glad you asked the question. I'm just urging us all to be a little patient. Let's just be a little bit patient. It is coming. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna kill. Okay? But thank you for asking me. I greatly appreciate the question. Sounds like an art piece. Absolutely. Come on, John Gilbreth, man. Way to step in, man. You always step in. You always come in. We appreciate everybody that is hitting the super chat. Anthony Bailey, thank you. God bless you too, brother.
Welcome to today's episode of the Mindset Mentor podcast. I'm your host, Rob Dial. Today, we're going to be talking about self-awareness, and I'm going to be teaching you how to understand yourself better. And I'm going to be talking about the difference between self-awareness and self-consciousness. And if you've been listening to my podcast for a while, you probably noticed that self-awareness might be the main thing that I promote more than anything else. I feel like almost every single podcast I'm talking about self-awareness, self-awareness, self-awareness. When I go into other people's podcasts, one of the questions that, people always like to ask, they have like they have a lightning round and they have fun questions, and sometimes they ask the question of, hey, if you could give everyone in the world a superpower, what would it be? And I always say extreme self-awareness. And the reason why is because if people were more aware of themselves, all of the problems in the world would disappear. If they were aware of how when they do that thing, they affect other people, good or bad, if we were all more self-aware, the world would be a better place. And the phrase ignorance is bliss is probably the most true thing in the world. Because I'll tell you this, it's way easier to just not be aware of yourself.
Self-aware.
It's way easier to just blindly go through life and just do whatever it is that you were doing. It won't lead to a fulfilled life. It won't lead to a happy life. But
Listen. I like what he was saying, but there's a bit of semantics involved. The difference between self-awareness and self-conscious. Well, conscious means aware. So stop playing reindeer games. Why don't you just say consciousness or awareness is on a spectrum? Some people are more aware, i.e. conscious of themselves, than others. But to say that there is a distinction between consciousness and awareness is just playing games with people who don't know the difference. who don't know the difference, like, oh, you just playing word games, like semantics, right? Now, to go back to what he did say that I thought was okay, self-awareness is the root of it all. Do you know why a narcissist can't be called out? Because they're self-unaware. They're just not aware. And it's rare. You will find some narcissists like Lee Hammock who said, you know what, I'm going to therapy. Now, you have other people that say, you know what, therapy doesn't help narcissists. They're the most intransigent patient, right? Stubborn, obstinate, right? These people are therapy proof to a lot of therapists. But when you can get a self-aware narcissist, they say the relationship gets a little better. The narcissist is like, oh, I kind of feel like maybe I feel like, or maybe I think I feel like I've upset you, right? When you can get them to be self-aware of their behaviors. This is why they can flip around and go right into blame shifting, because they're mostly self-unaware. But Andy brings up an amazing thought. Andy says most people are always self-aware, but there is this active willfulness to ignore that. Yeesh. Do we choose to be low? Do we choose to be basic and marginal? Yeah, because guess what? Do you know how much responsibility comes with awakening? Oh my God, it's easier to be able to sit down and enjoy The Simpsons with a chicken pot pie from Swanson with your favorite slippers on. It's easier to just, kind of veg out in the world than it is to actually take upon the mantle of self-healing. It's a very difficult task. It is not easy, right? Tonight's topic, Azazel, right? Recovering scapegoat from covert narcissistic abuse and blame. Are you the Azazel, the scapegoat of your family, of your relationship, right? Did your partner do horrible things to you, yet takes no accountability for how they treated you, gaslit you, stonewalled, avoided you, didn't engage in real conversations? Like, are you, right, the scapegoat for all of that? And on top of doing all those things, it's your fault. The experience of being scapegoated is a narcissistic, well, in a narcissistic family dynamic is a profound wound that can scar one's sense of self and their relationships and spiritual path. Oh my God. Covert narcissists, which are the most difficult ones to kind of ferret out. The covert narcissists. They're not the grandiose type. They're the in the cut, quiet, demure. The word they're using now. Demure narcissist, right? Often masked by charm and manipulation, employ scapegoating as a means to deflect their own flaws and regulate their internal chaos. Right? The recovering scapegoat, often the family truth teller, is a symbolic disruptor of the narcissistic construct that they were raised in. The scapegoat embodies authenticity that the covert narcissist can't tolerate. Right? You know, it's deep. You're a Christian, but you practice voodoo and witchcraft and roots. And even if it's in your family, you don't want to tell your family that you do that. Right? The scapegoat, the one you're going to blame, is going to call you out for that. Hey, if it's a part of your ancestry, embrace it with love. That's your truth. Don't wear a Christian mask over a witch's face, right? Am I wrong for that? No, that's what the scapegoat does. They tell the truth. Just embrace it. Or if you're really violent, but you try to present yourself as peaceful, calm, benign, sweet, nurturing, caring. But the moment you can't regulate your emotions, you're out of control, right? You're yelling, you're screaming, you're cursing, you're disrespectful. And for some, you may even become violent. But then to flip it all back around into a nice little gaslight burrito, I didn't do that. I didn't touch you. What? Wait a minute. No. You thought I hit you, but I didn't hit you. I would never hit you. Why would I do something like that? Scapegoat, right? That's you. You're responsible for all the mess, even though the fire starter in the mess. Oh my goodness. Covert narcissists often employ scapegoating as a form of psychological warfare, projecting their internal dissonance onto a chosen family member or intimate partner, the one who disrupts the false narrative. This is why they say never take the narcissist mask off. If you tug at the mask, you let them know you're aware that they're wearing a mask. Oh, damn, they know about my disguise. Oh, Lord. That's why they will go on a smear campaign. They will drag your name. They will make you look like you're the perpetrator of what you're saying they're responsible for. No, this is real stuff. When I come forward, you think I'm gonna stop? You think I'm going to stop laying the hot ham and cheese on you? I got a ham and cheese sandwich ready. Let's keep the fire lit. The voice of reason is on fire. Let's go. Nazarene, I ain't forgot you, bro. But I don't understand why these phone lines are quiet. I don't understand. What we doing? I'm going to go check the Cash App so I can shout you guys out. 3 Cash Apps, Dustin, LS, and James. I want to thank you guys for going to my Cash App and supporting. Please, please, please continue to support. Go to my Cash App. Yes, Dustin, LS, and James. Thank you guys. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, that's right. This is the second one. You're right. Tapped in. Are you guys getting hit by that? I think I was watching the weather channel today. I think that hurricane is about to flow through parts of Tennessee, parts of Chattanooga. I saw that. It's true. It's true. Did they say what category it's at? Does anybody know? That's true. Phone lines might be out. Somebody said, what's the hurricane name? The whole fam is where I am right now. Cats, dogs, sheeps, cows. 90-mile-an-hour winds. Jeez, let's all pray for our friend, our sister, our homegirl, our auntie, Nikki from the SIP. Can everybody just give her 10 seconds right now of prayer? Amen. Come on. She said, no boat big enough. Whoa. Everybody put those prayer hands up in the chat. Everybody put those prayer hands up in the chat for Nick and her fam. Please put those prayer hands up.
Hi, welcome to my latest podcast or YouTube video. Today I am talking about a topic that has been saturated, talked about over and over again. I'm going to talk about covert narcissism. But before I do that, I want to tell you that there's just way too much information out there. If you Google covert narcissism for as far as podcasts or YouTube videos, you'll see hundreds upon hundreds of people talking about the topic. Many are my esteemed colleagues who are brilliant, who have great information and great advice and contributions to offer to those who are just victims of the problem and talk about what it's like to suffer at the hands of a covert narcissist. And then there's everything in between that. But there are so many videos on the topic that the topic itself has become diluted. And so what I want to do is give a basic reminder of what covert narcissism is, and then share with you some of my latest discoveries on the topic. So my intention is not to cover old ground, Should you be interested, that information is in my book, and it's coming out in a week, and I could not be more proud. The Codependency Revolution, Fixing What Has Always Been Broken. Or if you've read my Human Magnet Syndrome book, or my full-length seminar videos available at selfloverecovery.com. You've heard me talk about it. So I have no intention of repeating what I once said already. But let's start with the basic explanation. According to my work, my belief system, my diagnostic categorization of a problem, that pathological narcissists are attracted to codependents or people with self-love deficit disorder.
Pause.
That is a human
Krishnamurti, relationship is a mirror. So oftentimes you hear people quote Krishnamurti inadvertently without citing Krishnamurti. Krishnamurti, relationship operates as a mirror. He was born in the 1800s. Okay? I'm not saying he's the absolute first person to say it, but he was on this philosophical, psychological jargon in the early 19th century. Okay? Krishnamurti, relationship as a mirror. Many people say that you get what you are. I've been saying that for over 25 years. You get what you are. You get who you are. Relationship is a mirror. I got you get who you are from Krishnamurti's relationship is a mirror. Psychologically speaking, in alignment with what Ross Rosenberg is talking about right now, toxic people are attracted to toxic people. They're mirroring each other. So a covert narcissist as a parent can create an SLD as a child, self-love deficient. And isn't it ironic that narcissists are attracted to the wounded, self-love deficient person? Why? Because they're looking for approval and acceptance from somebody, even if that somebody is toxic. And if the person is toxic and they had a toxic parent, the toxic person feels like home. See, this is how you know you're not at home. When the truth in your spirit irritates the demons they got from home that make up their damn identity. That's how you know you went the wrong. Oh, when I tell you the truth about how you lie to yourself, don't you mess with that mask. If you mess with that mask, they're going to go crazy. They're going to gaslight you. They're going to crazy make you. Go ahead, finish the clip.
deficit disorder.
Yeah, he was cooked.
That is the human magnet syndrome. It's an attraction pattern that will not change. If you're an SLD or a codependent, there is a 99% probability that you are going to be naturally, reflexively, and unconsciously attracted to a person who's a pathological narcissist. Someone with borderline, narcissistic, or antisocial personality disorder. By the way, antisocial personality disorder, the short name for it is sociopathy or sociopath. So there's three primary diagnoses. Narcissistic personality disorder, like the others, have subtypes. And one of the many subtypes of it is called covert narcissism. Even though that the powers that be who run the American Psychiatric Association or the American Psychological Association have not officially endorsed the term, it is embraced by the world at large, which include therapists and a large swath of mental health workers. So let's start with a basic definition. If you want more, just go on my YouTube channel and within the channel, just put a search term of covert narcissist and you'll see plenty of information. But my goal is not to repeat myself, but to share with you my updates. A covert narcissist has narcissistic personality disorder. That's where we start. It's a personality type. But what makes them different from other NPDs, people with narcissistic personality disorder, they have dishonest, manipulative, sociopathic traits of pretending to be something that they're not, pretending to be healthy, happy, benevolent, empathetic, a rabbi, a priest, a teacher, a beloved community member. They pretend to be someone that will be beloved and respected so that they can achieve success while hiding their true nature underneath. So in other words, covert narcissists have narcissistic personality disorder, but unlike the garden variety people with NPD, they know they have it and therefore are aware
Your mic and video
that
is
should
off.
they openly act out their pathological narcissism, people won't like them, they might be offensive, and they might not be successful in the career field that they have chosen. So they recreate a persona that is lovable, that is adored, that is respected, that is seen as benevolent, altruistic, empathetic, happy, healthy, socially aware. It's a pretend persona that is done believably because they are aware of what they're doing and they understand the benefit from getting people to believe that. And that enables them to have a job, a profession, a social standing that is beneficial and brings them either financial rewards or other rewards that they could not otherwise have gotten if they were openly expressive NPD. So, to summarize that, covert narcissists have narcissistic personality disorder. They have sociopathic traits that enable them to be conscious of what they are doing, to have limited empathy and understanding and sympathy while projecting a false personality type, while creating this personality type that is beloved so that they can seek the benefits of that. So, basic definition of covert narcissism. There's many different types and variations of that, but again, this is not the intent of this video.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Independent Senator Joe Manchin will not endorse Vice President Harris. This comes after Harris's promise.
What is happening in the chat? What's going on? Am I missing something? What is happening? I'm seeing lame ass niggas, lame asses. What are we doing? I played that extended clip of Ross Rosenberg so we could get game. Like, what we on right now? Everybody hit the like button, hit the like button. Pretty Brown Mimi, evacuation going on in Florida where I am right now. Damn. That's right. I didn't, when I saw the trajectory, I didn't see it hitting Florida, but apparently it will. It was scheduled to go through that little gap in between Florida and Cuba, right? And then curve up to the top of Florida and then Georgia and Tennessee, kind of all the way up the Midwest almost. What up, MJ? Let's keep going.
Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turn-offs? Fantasies?
Oh, Pensacola, right there, the Panhandle. Yeah.
Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
Be safe. Let's all pray for the sister.
It's a very heated topic. Oh, that right. Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I was like, this gonna be a war
You told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant. Betrayal has been committed. Hit you with a bad touch routine. How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my lip.
Why can't you open up, brother?
Karate man on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
How do you write women so well?
So William, reason and accountability. The voice of reason. Have you ever known someone that seemed totally genuine? Your conversations were engaging, and you agreed on so much. But then it happens. While claiming to have your back, they violated your trust, and you learned that much of your relationship was a lie. Making matters worse, maybe even blamed yourself, wondering what you did wrong. Now, if this sounds familiar, then you and I have something in common. We've both been manipulated. And I bet those who don't think they've been manipulated probably don't realize it yet. In fact, as we speak, it is likely that someone, somewhere, is planning to manipulate you. And because it happens to everyone, it's not only more common than we think, but it shows how little we know about how to prepare ourselves for it. As a professor who studied manipulation for more than 2 decades, I think we need to fix that. It's unacceptable to me that the science of manipulation has done little to help those being manipulated. We have failed you as a science. So I want to talk about how to recognize different types of manipulative people and what to do when you find yourself face to face with them. We can learn to turn the tables on these manipulative types by using their strategic thinking against them. With romance schemes, catfishing, investment fraud, and workplace manipulation all around us, the study of manipulation has never been more important. But the study of manipulative people has a fragmented history. There were forensic researchers studying psychopathy. There were clinical researchers studying narcissism. And there were behavioral researchers studying Machiavellianism. Now, you've probably heard the term psychopath or sociopath. You've almost certainly heard the term narcissist before. Maybe even used it to describe an ex. But many don't know what we mean by Machiavellianism, the masters of manipulation. And you know, a lot of people don't even pronounce it right. Niccolo Machiavelli was a political advisor who advocated for ruthless and duplicitous tactics. And those who agreed with Machiavelli's philosophy tended to be manipulative in their personal lives. Machiavellianism represents a cautious and rational way of gaining power. They manipulate, but they do so strategically, which makes them exceptionally dangerous. And there are no warnings or obvious signs. Individuals high in Machiavellianism seek power any way they can get it, and they're in it for the long run. When referring to all 3 traits, psychopathy, narcissism, and Machiavellianism, researchers simply call them the dark triad. In 2002, my mentor, Del Paulus, and his student, Kevin Williams, wanted to draw...
What if that's your mom or your father? You're a child of someone who is under the influence of the dark triad. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Voice of Reason live on KBLA Talk 1580. We're asking the question, are you the little black sheep in your family? The scapegoat, the one that all of the blame shifts to? Are you that person in your intimate relationships, or are you that person at work? It is a powerful topic tonight. We are on complete fire. I'm going to the phone lines right now. Let me get my brother Nazarene X from Atlanta, Georgia in the building. Nazarene, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic after that extended setup?
Is on my side. That's what I think.
Yeah, so tell me, man, what are your thoughts?
Alright, first of all, I'd like to salute to you, per usual. Apparently, we had time dumb it down. I always have a problem with that because I don't feel like everybody is stupid. I guess it's that common sense imitation or the lames, the uneducated or the vulgar and all of that. Check this out. I know that he say, look, that's the Shakespeare thing, life is a play or the world is a stage and all that crap.
Yeah. The world is a stage and everyone plays their part and have their entrances and exits. I paraphrase, but go ahead. Yeah.
I'm with you. I ain't really listening to white folk with wigs on that I never met in the first place. They made the rules to the drama and exit stage left and all of that type of stuff, right? The beings of rhythm, when I first saw the topic and noticed that same repetitive collection of characters, which we call letters, which will identify once we will pronounce it as a name, like that dude Azazel, like he was in that same movie, or the entity was acknowledged to that same movie called Deja Vu.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Denzel.
I didn't know he was in 2 Denzel movies. Uh-oh. You know the conspiracy theorists will get busy. They'll be like, see, Denzel is part of the Illuminati. They'll go right there.
The last debaters. Who's the judge? See, Denzel was in that movie too.
Yeah,
Great Debaters.
the Great Debaters.
So like, again, who the judge? The judge is God. Why
Mm.
the God? Look, we could go do this all day. So like, that's what I'm saying. I tend to basically acknowledge out loud on the devil's internet, on the radio, this and the third,
Mm-hmm.
while abiding by all the rules that I've never read or agreed to in the first place with FCCs and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know y'all. Like we said, talking to strangers, yet I know there's an energy that feels familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Either we gonna get memory or we gonna
Mm-hmm.
proceed with peace as the beings of light which we are. And in the same, it's like just the rhythm of masquerading as a being of light. I believe that once we all grow up and get a glimmer of hope or can kind of quote unquote see ourselves one way or another, right and wrong,
Mm-hmm.
like, we know the difference when we feel like somebody's faking it, including ourselves, right?
Right. Right.
So whether it's Azazel or Azul or Rumpelstiltskin, like, I don't know. I got $1 billion yams. I ain't got to look. Where the yams at?
Where the yams at? What?
Look, this one, we got to just kind of, once it's all that covert type of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like, pardon the through lines, but we're not supposed to covet what belongs to somebody else. Like, it's one thing to keep something sacred to your heart, to keep it covered, as in, like, yo, this is special to me. Like, once we get back to that vein of self-authorship,
Mm-hmm.
which is, again, different sentiments which your works
Mm-hmm.
represent and echo,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, look, we can define what's heavy at the end of the day. Like, so I'm not here to agree or play by nobody else's rules. Like, that's the beauty of slang for real. Like, you a demon, you a powerful spirit. Me too, I got, it's a lot of energy over here. You feel me? Like,
Mm-hmm.
we're not as separate or foreign to one another as we might be led to believe.
Mm-hmm.
So, in simplicity, where the word will be like, we wrestle not against the flesh, but with the principalities and the higher states. Like, at the end of the day, it's mistakes, it's people going wrong, but as long as I can differentiate that and say, like, look, okay, in this version of reality that I subscribe to or that I walk in,
Mm-hmm.
this looks like what's real to me. Represent that to the fullest, keep your integrity, and those that are in alignment with that will help you get to a place where you can help them do the same.
Right.
That's what we all want to do.
Right.
Everything else gonna work itself out. And I believe the yams is on the winning side. So
The yams is on the winner side. Hey, nephew, guess what you just did, brother?
ECL, Slum Ding Dong.
ATL in the building. Love you, Nazarene X. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. Let's bounce over to Detroit, Michigan. We got Ali Isla on the phone. What up?
Peace and blessings. It's Ali, good brother.
What's up, good brother? What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Man, it's like I said, it's like one of those when you go to church and you feel like the pastor just made that just for you walking in the door.
Ah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Really, what I think on it, man, it's like I married a professional gaslighter. And how you put it as far as to say we attract what we are.
Mm-hmm.
So part of me being in the phases of the 3 A's of acknowledging of the tone and then apologizing for what I done wrong,
Mm-hmm.
I can see, like, she said I got too much pride and somewhat of a God complex. I can see that can be, like, a little extra for somebody. So, you know, I feel like on the topic of being the scapegoat, I feel we do it to ourselves sometimes, and then we have demands and expectations that we know people ain't gonna live up to,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't necessarily communicate it the best ways to go about it. That's why I listen to you, and I'm trying to learn to be better at communicating. So I just wanted to say that. Go get out the way. I know we ain't got much time.
No, hold on though. Hold on. Why does your wife say you have a God complex? Because anybody with a God complex, I mean, that's like a backhanded way of saying you're a narcissist, like this grandiose personality. Have you ever taken a narcissist test, a narcissism test? Have you ever gone to therapy? I'm just asking, like, why would she paint you in that?
Go ahead, I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, why would she paint that picture of you?
Yeah, because I have done those things, and then I'm a person, I look at my life on the three scales. I said I'm not just a physical being, I'm a spiritual and a mental being. And by me saying that, or saying like I'm chasing to be more like God, more so than to live on the physical. So by me saying that, in some ways, that makes her think like I want to be. When I say God, like I mean like LITE. Not like I want to be God. I want to be in his class. I want to be in his mindset to think and act and control my environment.
Right. You're not consciousness, right? Christ consciousness, right? I just want to come to Christ consciousness, that kind of thing. Okay, that's not narcissism. You've heard me say this a million times. There's people with narcissistic tendencies, and then there are people that can be clinically diagnosed with MPD. Now, the question is, have you looked at your family? Who raised you? Your mother. Have you looked at your attachment style, right? Do you know your attachment style? Does she know hers? This goes back to the relationship being a mirror thing. Ross Rosenberg's book on the human magnet syndrome is the clinical version of what I would pair with that. A book I would pair with that would be Krishnamurti's Relationship as a Mirror. So Krishnamurti is philosophy, Ross Rosenberg is psychology. So if you get Ross Rosenberg's human magnet syndrome and you get Krishnamurti's Relationship as a Mirror, and you read both the philosophical and the psychological, you'll have a stronger understanding of you get who you are. You get what you are. Because understand, a narcissist and an SLD, according to Ross Rosenberg, that's his term that he uses to supplant the term codependent. SLD, self-love deficient disorder, they are irrevocably attracted to each other. So I think that's what it is. That's the mirror thing. Okay. So my question is, what are you? Anxious, preoccupied. It has to be some kind of insecure attachment style. Anxious, preoccupied, dismissive, avoidant, fearful, avoidant, right? And I don't believe that those styles are hard and fast. I believe that there is a melding and a merging of those different styles. So you would have to discover all of that and then discover what your wife is so you could understand the psychological lesson as well as the philosophical lesson when combined takes us to a spiritual understanding of why you two are together. That makes sense?
Yeah, perfect sense.
Right. So I think this call was meant to come through because I just need you to understand this is what self-awareness is about. Like who you are in this play that is called your relationship, right? Many of us play the role that our gender demands, but are we playing and filling the role that our spirit demands? So you have to figure that out, Ali.
Hey, so just a question that got in my head, and so what I was thinking, how I put it, like I was raised in a house where I had to love myself and appreciate myself, and you know what I'm saying, boast myself to certain areas. And she was raised in a house where she was made to feel low and down, and where she still like some of that self-doubt and, you know what I'm saying, self-love issues. So, like, that's why I said as far as the magnet being attracted on that, but is it a phase where I got too much in that area of that to where I need to give some of that to her and take some of that what she got and basically humble myself, and we can balance it out for the benefit for our kid.
Well, let me just say this. A lot of times people paint I came from a healthy family dynamic. A healthy family dynamic is not a perfect family dynamic. Many people think healthy means perfect and there's no issue, there's no there's no problems. Many people think the same way when they take an attachment style test and the test comes out and says you're secure. They think, okay, secure means I'm good to go. But all of the insecure attachments can pull the securely attached to the insecure side, whether it be avoidant or anxious, right? It could pull them to that side. So there is no real perfect side here. So if your family raised you to love on yourself, self-love, to appreciate yourself, that is a good thing. But understand, that's just part of the story. Do you know what wounds your mother and father, if they were in the house together teaching that philosophy, do you know what wounds they were teaching that philosophy through? What was the impetus of them teaching you that? And did they reconcile their own internal beef? And I'm not saying your mother and father had beef. I'm saying beef with themselves spiritually.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Do you see what I'm saying? Because just like communication, 60% of communication is body language. And you think just because you didn't say something in front of your kid that your kid didn't pick up the nuance, the energy change in the room, the vibe on you, your hands folded, and the smirk on your face. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like you probably still picked up some dysfunction even though it was couched in empowerment. Stay with me. Don't go nowhere, Ali. Ali from Detroit got us cooking. Let's go. What is Zoism? I don't know what that is. It happens when y'all call. That's what Zoe is. When I listen to what people are saying, and then I'm able to give them some good stuff. Yeah, it happens when I can have a conversation. It's dope though. Thank you. Soda. Yo, we still got 3 Cash Apps. Can I get a Cash App run? And let me shout out a brother who sent me a Cash App earlier today before I was on the air. His name is Earl. I'm not going to say his last name. His name is Earl. Thank you for the Cash App, Earl. And again, please go to my Cash App, $ZoWhatNetter, or hit the super chat. We only got $15.47 on the super chat. But it's all love. It's all good. And as Nikki from the SIP said, pay attention, Zoe. Some people getting hit by a hurricane. So I understand. Peace to you, God. Hannah's Healing House. Hannah's Healing House. I think I'm gonna buy a pizza before I go home. Like a New York style, like cheese pizza. That might be good. Don't be afraid to hit the like button, hit the share button, support. It's Reverend Soulflowers. Oh, you should call in. Oh, hey. You should call in. Definitely, you should call in. Thank you all. Happy to be here. Yo, this topic is crazy. Can you guys assist her? Give the sister the phone number, 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. Hey, Sabaros, yeah, that was good. In the mall, back in the day, in the 90s, it was great. Thank you, bro. Hey, Ron.
When you come out of complex trauma, you develop ways of relating to survive. And those kept you safe, the ways you learn to relate. But what you find is as you get older, they don't work so well anymore. But it's important to go back and really understand your relationship style and why you relate the way you relate. When we talk about complex trauma, one of the terms that I use regularly is a dysfunctional family. And I have had many, hundreds of people say to me, everybody's got a dysfunctional family. We all are dysfunctional. And what goes on in their mind is this distinction that goes, the only other option to dysfunction is perfect. So nobody's got a perfect family, so we're all dysfunctional. And that seems to make sense, but it really misses an important piece. And that is dysfunctional. The opposite isn't perfect, the opposite is functional. But what does that mean? So the word dys for dysfunctional actually means in pain. And so what we mean when we say a dysfunctional family, it's a family that's in pain and a family that can't resolve pain. So let me broaden that for you.
Stop. If you were blamed for the pain in your family, scapegoat, the goat who left, the goat who shook it. If you were the scapegoat, the little black sheep in your family, like dysfunction, can't cope with pain. If that is you, this is your topic, you should call in tonight. Because trust me, if you haven't reconciled that burden, you're going to make it into a relationship expectation that somebody should come in and help you shoulder it. That's your spirit work, not your significant other. Because trust and believe, if you walk into that relationship shouldering that kind of pain, understand the concept of relationship being a mirror, all things being equal, they're going to have a burden equally as burdensome as yours, with the expectation that you should co-carry. Go ahead, let it finish.
Families have hard times. All families have bad things that happen. A functional family is able to deal with those things, resolve it, and come out the better for it. So there are functional families. So to be a functional family doesn't mean you never go through hard times. All families do. What makes it a dysfunctional family is it can't resolve that pain. And so the members of the family live in unresolved pain, which leads to the piling up of pain. And that is the reality of a dysfunctional family. And so what we're going to see as we go into this is that children growing up in pain, they begin to go in their mind, what do I need to do? And they have three different priorities in their mind. What do I need to do is in how I relate so that I don't get hurt again. Secondly, what can I do as a kid that will help this family in pain? And thirdly, how do I get my needs met in this family that is in a lot of pain? And so that's where the roles come into play. In a family of complex trauma, a dysfunctional family, there's the one child that's referred to as the troublemaker. They're the ones that's defiant, rebellious, angry all the time, and he just won't get with the program and smarten up. Now let me say this right up front. Of all the roles that we're going to look at, The problem child is the one person in the family that is being honest. Everybody else is lying, both to each other and to themselves. What is going on in the scapegoat or the problem child is they're saying this family is sick. And I'm not going to lie about that. We're messed up. And everybody walks around like we love each other and like, oh no.
It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I had to put the shoulder on it.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black.
Come on, y'all. Come on. I'm the black lone wolf. My state chilling. What is happening? Stop walking around high and mighty because you escaped. That's actually why you should walk around high and mighty, because you escaped. You got it in reverse, Kenny. Which nephew? What's going on? Nazarene X, I'm pro-Trump. What's happening? Oh. Let me know. That self-righteousness, though. No, it's not. Would self-righteousness be in alignment with narcissism, Kenny? What's the difference between narcissism and self-righteousness? No, I need you to think clearer. Like, when you make definitive statements, first off, definitive statements are very dangerous because everything is nuanced. So, no, I know it's not me. I know it's not me. I'm asking you a question because I read what you wrote, right? And certain things, like, you have to remember, you got a call, cuz, what? Let's stay focused, though. Sometimes we get a little out, and I miss the conversations because I'm not reading all of the text messages. Or not text messages, but chats. I noticed some people clowning others because they're still in the situation. Oh yeah, that's self-righteousness and narcissistic. How about that? I'm with you, Kenny. That's a narcissistic tendency. With you demeaning and devaluing a person for going through a situation. I got you. Whoever did that, let's clown then. Let's go. Hey, let's get a roll call real quick. We got 3 minutes. This is my longest break. We got 3 more minutes in this break. I am encouraging everybody. If you're finding any value in tonight's topic, just go to my Cash App, drop $2, $3, whatever you can spare. If you find this topic to be insightful, something you can apply to your life, please show your love, show your support for the channel. You could do it by hitting the cash or the super chat down at the bottom of the chat, or you can send me a Cash App directly, which is $ZoWhatNetter. We call it Twos and Fuse. The family that's always in here, we call it Twos and Fuse. If you can, please support. And then also hit the like button. Kenny, thank you, brother. Kenny blessed. Detroit in the building. You already know we appreciate you big time. Detroit is in the house. We appreciate it. That took us to 1746. Thank you. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Hey, we lost Ali. God damn it, Bobby. No, all jokes aside, Attila, you ain't peep game already. I don't know what that means. Kenny Bless, thank you. Thank you. Everybody thank Kenny Bless. Where's our roll call? Who's in the path of the hurricane? Somebody put in your city and state. Can you do that? We got 60 seconds. MJ, great topic. Thank you. MJ. We're at 22:45. Wherever. Chicago. What up, what up, what up, what up? Las Vegas. Trying to keep sis in pocket without being mean. Oh, okay. Not in the path yet. Mountain View, Hawaii. Stay out the path, Mountain View. Love and salute, MJ. Detroit by way of the DMV. Come on, y'all. Where y'all chiming in at? Whole lot of illegals. Wow. Whoa, really? Jacksonville, Florida. Mimi, are you safe? Are you safe down there, Mimi? 20 seconds. Are you safe, Mimi? Put up an emoji if you're safe. All right, good. So far, let's pray for Mimi.
Child's role and symptoms in narcissistic abuse. Well, I believe that it is possible to find relief from the scapegoat role and its symptoms. The scapegoat role is an experience that happens in interaction with a narcissistic abuser. And this is why the second pillar of recovery, getting distance from a narcissistic abuser, is so important. Survivors need to protect themselves from more experience, which requires them to inhabit the role of scapegoat. And in Module 3 of my online course for recovery from narcissistic abuse, I go into just this topic. I address the challenges in creating such distance. It can be actually more difficult to create distance from a narcissistic parent than from a good enough parent. Finally, I offer concrete strategies to achieve the needed distance from a narcissistic parent.
Heavy stuff. The VOR back in the building. Let's get back to these callers. Reverend Soulflower, Las Vegas, Nevada. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic? Hey. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I feel so, thank you for asking that. I feel so grateful to be here tonight. I've been in a lot of different energies, and this one just really, it's refreshing that it's being talked about. And it was also a bit triggering, right? Being
Really?
that energy and exploring that, in a really good way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, thank you for asking. Thank you for holding space for that. You know, I wanted to start from the top and flow through, but I'll start at the one that stood out most to me. You know, kind of the tactics that are used within the family unit to kind of isolate the one that, you know, is looked at as, you know, being different, right? Like as the brother just said a moment ago, as being of a different story. And so that was just, yeah, isolation is one of the things, you know, where people are considered not valuable. They can't think for themselves. Like, why won't you, like you said, get with the program? Like, hey, we're all doing this. Why are you thinking about this? Why are you moving this way? And, you know, a lot of the melanated families, they're in so much trauma as it relates to, it's generational, right? You know, it's a lot of trauma. So we're scared to peel back those layers. You know, we'd rather let the layers pile on than actually take the wound off and take the Band-Aid off and say, okay, well, this has been happening for quite some time. Maybe we can analyze it through this experience that's happening as opposed to shunning the one that's bringing the light to the fact that, hey, these experiences are as normal as the mother, you know? So it's a pleasurable journey, right? Because you get a chance to view it and take on the energy of like, yes, I get to do this for my bloodline. I get to do this for my children, my children's children, and like seeing it all the way through. But it's very heavy, bro. It's heavy because you deal with the reality of, you know, people not seeing you, that you, of course, you want the love and the support and the respect of, right? Initially, right? You go out of it and you learn to accept everything is what it is. But, you know, these are the people that you look to for that support and that extra, okay, great, you're going in the right direction. And, you know, fortunately, I've been able to support a few family members with seeing that it's not just a total loss, right? But, you know, early on, I remember so many years of doing this work and journeying and like, hey, y'all, let's really talk about this. Let's not keep this going on. Let's find some type of solution. Let's really sit down and talk about some things. And nobody really wants to talk. And so I began to, you know, like absorb the information and just see how everybody gets down, right? And then take more of like a merciful energy. My heart was really humbled at knowing through intentional work how heavy and hard this shit is, and knowing why if somebody would look at it and be like, nah, I'm cool, you know? Nah, let's just keep going this way instead of really dial into that energy. So it's refreshing, it's just heavy. And so it's beautiful to have spaces where we can come together and we can acknowledge that, and we can encourage each other, right? And we can dialogue about it and not be so afraid to put this stuff on the table and say, hey, this is something that we can, you know, tap into. You know, and just like you mentioned too, brother, like that affects your relationship, right?
Absolutely.
That affects the way you communicate with people.
Yeah. I got a question for you, though. I got a question.
Yeah.
Because, you know, really quickly, you know how, like, if attachment theory, right? Some people say, oh, I took a test and it came out I'm secure. They have this idea that they don't have any work to do, right? They don't have any work to do because they're secure. Or say, you know, I'm a star seed, or I'm an old soul, or I'm an ancient soul, or, you know, I'm even the black sheep of my family, and I'm the truth teller. And a lot of people forget, even though you're the one who calls everybody out as the truth teller, you still have your own issues that need this communion, this conversation, this discussion. Just because you're gifted doesn't mean you don't have challenges that have to be worked out from the inside out. And so many people that may have a little bit of a gift or a special gift, it almost handicaps them because they think, I don't have to do any work. But the work is for everybody. The truth teller, the prophet, the followers, the guru. The work is for everyone. Am I right or wrong on that?
Yes. I wanted to shout so many times. I had to put myself on mute. You know, that's so accurate. We get that. First of all, we'll cap it with, you're in this incarnation because you have work to do, period. You're not here just to be leader. Even Jesus experienced pain, right? If we want to go biblical. You're not just here just to be pretty and a shining light. Some of us are called to show what the embodiment of faith is going to look like by tried and true, right? And we're going to also have to dig into the energies and the shadows of ourselves in order to even be able to illuminate that truly for anybody else. If you can't sit with yourself and you can't sit with your own emotions and the times you've been emotionless when you needed to be emotionful, right? And all the things and feel your way through, then yeah, that's a trauma. That's gonna echo into your work and your relationships, and no one's above the work.
No one's above the work. Ooh, no one's above the work. Oh, wait a minute. We got more. I got more now. I got more. So if we say the narcissist is a demon that needs to be exorcised, we say the narcissist is a demon that needs to be exorcised. Well, guess what? If the demon is tormenting you, the demon can, and if you look at all these movies, this is how it goes down. The demon only torments what it recognizes in you. So if you've sinned, if you've committed adultery, if you've lied, if you've manipulated, if you've stolen, if you've used, the demon will say, priest, what you doing in here? You're not worthy to cast me out. You just like me. The narcissist flips it around. This is why they say never pull the narcissist's mask off, because the narcissist will attack your humanity to say, how dare you call me out on mine, when in fact you still struggle. But that doesn't allow, or many demons think they can take your humanity and use it as a coupon for them to continuously project their darkness and their self-loathing onto you. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so I think that we can only identify, or I feel, excuse me, I'm a Cancer, right? I like to feel. I feel like we can only connect with energy that is resident within our being to begin with.
There we go. Yes.
If you don't identify, if I told you I was an alien, you wouldn't believe it unless you were an alien yourself, right? So anything that I can see in you, anything I can see in another, anything I can connect with, be it metaphysical or physical, right? It's because it's something that I'm dealing with, or I've dealt with, or I'm still currently processing, right? And so, yeah, it's easier to cast that shadow onto others and shine that work on what they need to do, but how do you identify that, right? How are you able to even identify that that's the area of work that's needed, right? Unless that's something that you have danced the dance with, you know, and have you developed a tincture to alchemize that or work through that or heal those wounds, or have you just sat in that and, like you said, project that energy? Is that your way of going about healing or elevating or, you know, contributing to the collective quote-unquote energy?
I love it. You know what? You are more than welcome to call in anytime, Reverend Soulflower. You brought Las Vegas, Nevada in the building. If you was feeling her like I was feeling her, all you got to do, call in 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, my niece is going to close it out. Yo, firework. That was a fire discussion. Yo, that was a fire discussion. That was good. Good. Oh, that's funny. Big ups to Noob. Good. Y'all stupid. Good. Y'all good? Everybody good? Everybody straight? Let me check the Cash App to see if we got any other updates. Shane, Artis, and Jay. Thank you. Shane and Jay. Last minute, last run on the Cash App. We only have 10 minutes left in this show. Only 10 minutes left, and that's going to fly by. Only 10 minutes left in this show. If you guys want to support now. Go there now. Go to my Cash App, $Zelwud If you want to hit it on the super chat, hit the $ at the bottom of the chat. Support. Say no to edibles. What are they talking about? I'll be missing everything. What are y'all talking about? Edibles are magical. Okay. Super chat or Cash App. Show your love. Have you guys enjoyed the playlist tonight at least? Was the playlist cool tonight? "15 seconds. No clip. Ladies and gentlemen, the VOR back in the building. You already know what it is. We've come full circle. Man, tonight was a heavy topic, a deep topic, a meaningful topic. Hopefully we gave you some context. I want to bring in my niece, Attila from Houston, Texas. Attila, get in here. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Yes, sir. Real quick, because I know I don't have much time, but I do believe when it comes to scapegoating, I've experienced it, family, work, all those different things. I feel like it is a never-ending saga of the rejection wound. And this is why it repeats in our lives a lot of times, just with different characters. So, that's it.
No. What is the rejection wound? What in the world?
Well, in order to be scapegoated, I would need to have been rejected, right? Especially if it's an early wound with family. And it's that feeling, that word that tells you that you were not enough, that there's something missing, there's something wrong with you. And so inevitably, you attract experiences to you that confirm that belief when you haven't learned anything different.
Is there a difference between the rejection wound and the worthiness wound, or are they one and the same?
I think you can have both. I feel like worthiness is simply, am I worthy? Rejection is, do they want me?
But
I can be wrong on that.
But it's boy, those cross currents.
Yeah.
That's powerful. Attila, you know I love it when you come on. We gonna get through it. I love Attila, man. She calls in, she drops jewels, she helps with topics. It's amazing. The VOR got a whole family across the country. Attila, guess what you just did? Houston, Texas is in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call us at 1-800-920-1580. The scapegoat often embodies qualities the narcissist both envies and fears, such as authenticity, emotional intelligence, or an unyielding pursuit of truth. In this toxic dynamic, the scapegoat becomes the repository of the narcissist's unprocessed shame. This is ugly. Rage and internal inadequacies, serving as a psychological whipping post that sustains the narcissist's fragile ego. According to Ross Rosenberg, the observe, don't absorb technique can be a crucial tool for scapegoats, allowing them to disengage emotionally from the narcissist's manipulation and maintain their sense of self in the face of relentless blame shifting. Right? Blame shifting serves as an effective tool for the narcissist's inability to self-regulate, a defense mechanism that externalizes their internal conflict. Right? The family scapegoat who refuses to conform to the narcissist's demand for control and admiration often bears the brunt of this tactic. Recognizing blame shifting can empower scapegoats to reclaim their narrative, understanding that the narcissist their accusations are reflections of their own insecurities. Now, peep game. You go to my family, they're going to tell you there was never a kid in our family that was badder than him. Like, they judge all bad kids based off of the level of badness I was as a child. Yeah, but is he as bad as Zoe? Yeah, remember Zoe when he was you remember him? Right? It's like I have stained their memory because I was that kid that wanted to walk his own path, that didn't want to listen to anybody, that didn't want to be guided or instructed by anyone. And I really was able to cultivate a unique voice within my family. And it stands that way today. Like my uncles, and I remember my uncles. I remember my uncle who, when we were younger, I mean, we were kids, of course, he had a deal with the local shoe guy. And the guy who sold shoes would give us free shoes because my uncle did some deal with him. I don't know what he did, but we would get shoes for our YMCA tournaments that we were in every summer. And this is how I was introduced to basketball. My uncle would put me in the game, and I had a natural proclivity for basketball, and I was athletic and I could play. And it was one game I scored like 50 points in the first half. And so my uncle was like, I'm going to take him out, and we're already beating the team. But I was so upset he wouldn't allow me to score more. I just put my clothes on and left the gym. Now, mind you, he gave me a ride there, but I was the type of kid, so I got to let somebody else get theirs in? All right, cool, I'm out, I was that kind of kid. I didn't follow rules. And, same in school, didn't follow rules. But out of school, I was the first one to start a business. And my uncle was like, but you didn't go to business school. How is it that you own a shop in Altadena and you're doing business? And he was like, okay. And he started to pour into me even more because he understood that, I was on my own kind of path. When I was a kid, I was ridiculed by the family. Like, what are you doing? You're wasting your intelligence. You're this, that, and the third. I used to get hit hard with it. I've even had women that I dated who were raised a different way say to me directly, your mother should have whooped you more. But I think I came a long way. I think, 5 books later and on the radio changing people's lives, I think the path that I was on is the path that I was supposed to be on. It ain't nothing but love. I started the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. You already know what it is. I'll be back tomorrow with another slapper. Hey, yo, great show. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Number love, number love. Fire show, y'all. Fire show. Love y'all. Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. I'm Audi 5000. Deuces. Yep.